and welcome to episode 50 of Downunder The Ring podcast. I am your host, the Warship, and I am joined, as always, by Phid McAwesome. And today we are also joined by Substitute BETSON, who will not be a substitute anymore, as now we are looking at a three-man triple threat, three-way dance, King of Trios team for Downunder The Ring. So, usually I would just say, hey, Phid, how you doing? I have no idea how this is going to go, so maybe I don't give a fuck how anyone feels, how you doing at all. And today we're talking about Wrestlemania. Phid, please help me. How you going?
Not a problem. Yeah, look, I just want to add before we go too far into talking, I'm stoked that you're here with us, BETSON, as a full-timer now. You're part of the show. You've been a part of the team for over a year now anyway, right? You've been the casual call-in whenever one of us has been sick. You've been hands-on now at two pay-per-view events or two big events for AEW
not
and
pay-per-views
WWE.
anymore.
No. So it only felt right that hitting episode 50, we said there was change coming at episode 50. We're here at episode 50. The first big change is the three-man booth with you. So super stoked to have you on the team, bro.
Oh, I'm super happy to be here. It was one of those amazing things where the two of you shot me a message a little while ago being like, hey, we're thinking about having some fun with the show, switching up a little bit. You want in? I'm like, yeah, I've been in for a while. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you want to do? They're like, no, you want in. I was like, shit. Like, I have been missing a good place to talk wrestling for a while. So, but yeah, and as you said, like, I've been very lucky to join you both on various trips, whether it be in Brisbane recently with Grand Slam or heading over to Perth early last year for Elimination Chamber. And I imagine that we're going to do it again later this year.
Maybe we'll be doing it again later this year.
Look, it's the place to be, all right? That's all I can say. Perth is where it's at when it comes to wrestling.
From what I understand, dude, it might be the place to go for wrestling for WWE and UFC.
At least for the next couple of years,
foreseeable future, because it sounds like there's going to be a long-term relationship between TKO and the Western Australian government.
Well, as a side note, because we did see this firsthand when we went to the gimmick last year, but man, they're like fully invested when it comes to all of that from the WA government side of things. Like
the street advertising was incredible. Banners everywhere. Like when you land at the airport, there is just billboards anywhere you look.
Yeah, and also not just that, but like what we got when we went into the actual thing for the gimmick is we got like welcome to the city of WA, like full. They gave us Rocky Road fucking chocolate, like it was this whole. We got a quokka toy, like it was like welcome to WA, the best place ever in the world, and that like it was really like selling WA to everyone. So
Warship's like, yeah, I love you. I know this is all full of shit. But thank you.
Absolute garbage. And yes, we got to this far before I remember to have a swear button, so I can stop swearing all the time. But that's okay.
We're in the Netflix era now.
We are in the Netflix era, so they still censor the swearing sometimes with the crowd, so I figure that's probably a good thing. That pisses me off. Side tangent, this is going to be a lot of side tangents, but one of the side tangents that pisses me the fuck off at the moment, is that you'll be watching and people start, like the bit of the older, like the fuck you, Roman, whatever, whoever it is at the time. And then the crowd, you'll be like, you, and like it does that and it cuts out everything. I hate it.
Actually, what I find is they don't, like the timing's kind of off because obviously there's the 7-second delay with TV broadcast, but you can find it like sometimes it's like, you Roman, fuck Roman, like fuck you, like it's really inconsistent.
And like it just pisses me off because it's like, all right, The Rock. You're allowed to have Cody say, go fuck yourself, Rock. You're allowed to have all this, but if the crowd says it, that's too much. That's too far.
I imagine it falls within the PG-13 rules of the US. Like you're allowed one fuck, make it count. So, especially with that Netflix and that episode, obviously because they intentionally cussed it out earlier to make the final one just like.
Are they getting a Grammy this year? I know we're kind of bouncing around, but now with all of the executive producer Paul Levesque stuff now at the end of the shows, are they going to get a Grammy this year?
You mean a Golden Globe?
Is it a Golden Globe? Grammy's music, isn't it?
Grammy's music. You would never know. Cody might get one against Travis Scott this weekend.
Golden Globe is the word. Is it Golden Globe?
Yeah.
Because it's not Oscar, because that's movies.
Yeah, there's no the Emmy, so an Emmy, you mean? Yeah.
Emmy's a TV,
Emmy.
Golden Globe's a TV and film, so.
Okay, cool. Well, honestly, you guys have more idea than me. Are they going to win an award is the question.
Well,
I think they'll try.
I think they'd be able to for the variety category.
Yeah.
It would fall into variety, I think, rather than live sports.
Well, okay, but here's my thing, because this is going to be my awesome segue, right? My excellent segue into the main topic is, yeah, it's good TV. It's been good TV, but am I invested in WrestleMania season this year?
It's an interesting one. So this build for WrestleMania this year has been weird because months ago we were like, we have no idea where this is going, blah, 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 blah. It's exciting because we don't know where it's going.
But Daddy will pull it together.
Yeah, but for the past 4 weeks, I would say this has been one of the more lackluster builds to WrestleMania I think we've had in a long time. I have no doubt that this show is going to be amazing. It always is. Actually, no, it isn't always. But I have no doubt that
That's WrestleMania. Like, you're coming out with like a B up.
B plus at best.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even just the spectacle of it all is like, cool.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of red herrings going into this. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of situations that we think angles are going in that are going to be swerves for us, I think. I'm hoping for that because I think some of these matches on paper do look very boring. And I think the build's been boring for a few of them.
There are people who deserve a spot that aren't getting it at all, and there are other people who are really just... I do not give a flying fuck whatsoever about this Sin City bullshit match. Like, I don't care about Drew and Damian Priest. I don't. Yeah. You know who I care about? I care about motherfucking Karrion Kross with the amazing work that he's been doing lately, just off the card. Like, you know, and there's a lot of those situations right now that we're kind of dealing with that just kind of suck. You know, like, yes, we have to do the Jade Cargill gimmick. Yes, we have to do that. We have to do LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Sleeper match of the night, possibly. Going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff that we have to do. I don't really care about Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. We have to do it. I don't want to. I hope there's a schmoz or an angle or something in that. But there are so many matches here that I'm like, it kind of almost feels like that 2000 to 2005 era of WWE where there's like a couple of major things you're really, really in for. But the rest of it is kind of just a hardcore battle royal with Taz and a lolly jar in the head.
Yeah, I think that's it's a larger issue that WWE is having in that they have spent so much time, especially within the last 4 years, I guess, really being aware that they are focusing on a singular story. Yeah. And up until, it's been Roman this entire time. So now in like a post-Roman world, has
been the massive investment.
Exactly. And like everything has felt supplementary to the bloodline, where now there's no bloodline, but I guess the main story is the two main events, even though it shouldn't be. There are other stories that should be there, where, it's just showing that the way that they have been writing and booking these shows, which I 9 times out of 10 don't really have an issue with because it just turns out that's how I like my wrestles. Yeah. But when you're spending so much time with the same wrestlers on both Raw and SmackDown, there's no room for anyone else to come in and help fill those spaces.
Well, yeah, I agree with that too. And if you look at the card, like you can see, like you run down the card, you see the matches that have had time invested.
Yeah.
Like they're easy to see.
We've also got another problem with WWE at the moment, and it's the very same problem that we were accusing AEW of having 2 years ago, which was a bloated roster and too many titles. The amount of titles that they have now, and there's a lot of them that aren't on this 2-day PLE, and the amount of top-level stars or potential top-level stars that just we haven't got room for because there's just so many, so many top people in this company right now, or potential top people, right?
Saying that though, like I'm also a firm believer that you can tell a really good story without using a belt.
Yeah, of course.
But
Like
saying
AJ
that
Styles and
though,
Logan
it's
Paul.
Mania. They should have the belts.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that too. For me, interesting thing, you've just spent $11 million on bringing the Lucha Bros here, right? Penta's got a match, but Phoenix in the very first
he debuted
year,
like 2 weeks ago, right? So
that's a problem though. Like,
that would be dirty for
any.
anybody else.
Yeah, of course, but like that's a problem in itself because you're already investing, in this. Like it's the same as the other 2 hires that they've just brought out. Are we going to be saying tomorrow after SmackDown, man, we should have waited because I can't believe Aleister Black just kicked Randy Orton's head off on the Go Home show? Like, and then your exact point there about Phoenix.
Like, when we get to this match, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I want Black, but I don't. It's not Black.
Look, I do agree. I actually don't think that that's the case at all. I think we're much more likely to see fucking Miro show up, honestly, because he's here as well. So,
WrestleMania is landing on Rusev Day this year. So
look,
and Easter. Like I can't believe that all these stars aligned. It's incredible.
And it is Rusev Day, like today, actually. So just keep that in mind too. That it is also
Rusev. It's the Rusev
Day.
long weekend.
Yeah, every day. But like, there is a lot to talk about when it comes to it because we sit here as we are right now. A lot of the show is,
But like
we're going to go down the card now.
Before we jump into the predictions, because you guys have shared what it's like for you heading into this build. So
yes.
Now, granted, like a lot of this is my own personal experience. This is very different to like looking at the card objectively. So. Yes. As you guys know, I have a young son. He's 8 years old. I've been into wrestling for numerous years at this point. He has been in proximity. He's like, okay, cool. He's made himself a new friend in the last 5 months. A little mate that lives in his estate. Huge wrestle mark, right? Massive.
Oh, okay.
So he's making friends with this guy, and then suddenly he's got social cred because he's like, well, my dad works in wrestling.
My dad knows wrestlers.
My dad knows wrestling.
Yeah.
So he's got immediate social cred, which is great for him. But he's also now really jumping into wrestling, giving a shit about it.
So is he coming around on Sunday?
Oh yeah,
Awesome. Well, I've said this so many times on the show. Is one of my favorite times as a wrestling fan was when my eldest got into wrestling as a kid, and it was just such a it's why I love my appreciation for Cena so much. And it's also when I properly became a CM Punk fan was during that era because Punk and Cena were the exact opposites. I was a CM Punk guy, my son was a Cena guy, and we had fun having that rivalry together.
Absolutely, that's all it is.
But that experience alone, as you mentioned, that's why I like John Cena. My son is enamored by Cody.
Yeah.
So in what the whole story of this match is heading to is who is the new face of WWE? My son is living it, which makes it so much fun.
Yeah.
So, and it comes like a full circle. So last year, Sunday, Monday, I took the Monday off work, but none of my friends did. So I wasn't able to watch it with my friends. Yeah. But my son found out that I was watching it by myself and he was on holidays.
Yeah.
He's like, Daddy, can I
too.
come watch it? So last year he came and watched it with me, for me. But now this year we get to watch it together. For both of us, and for him, it's so good. That's Cody Rhodes level finish the story shit. That's good.
Oh yeah. So here's a little bit of if you want to feel good moment.
Always.
That same son of mine that got me back into pro wrestling during the Cena era. He's now living with us in Australia, and he said to me the other day, "It's WrestleMania this weekend." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Dad, I want to watch it with you. Wake me up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so me and him watched it when he was little, and now he's like, Dad, I want to watch it with you. I'm like,
so this card could be absolute cheeks,
but we're gonna have a great
time.
But
I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. Look, it's not cheeks. It's not so much cheeks.
Maybe I'm saying it could be.
It's a little bit of hole. Although that being said, there is no My Hole on this card, which is interesting. We don't have any Nia Jax, which I know guys. Hey,
Australian superstar Nia Jax.
I know you're sad about it. No Australian representation in night 2. Very, very sad. No, night 1, sorry. Very, very sad. But let's talk about night 1, because we talk about people who are real heroes and real legends and real, faces and people that you can trust and believe in. And obviously, the first match that I would really want to talk about is a match involving a WWE legend.
That's involving like a historic WWE legend.
An actual, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. I am, of course, talking about the match with Rey Mysterio, up and coming new guy.
Versus one day.
El Grande Americano, a true American hero.
Greatest luchador in the world.
Easily the greatest luchador. I have my friend Mazdek, he's a lucha libre legend here, and we conversate, and he's like, he trained me how to wrestle. So there you go. That's all there is to it, honestly. But this thing is evolved. I really hope, before we get into predictions, I really hope we get an Eric Angle situation where they get someone else to wear the El Grande Americano gear in one point of the match. Maybe Ray goes under the El Grande goes under the ring.
It needs to be some twin magic stuff.
Yeah, under the ring, and then Ray can't get him out, so he gets back in the ring. El Grande comes in.
And it's just Elias.
Ray hits the Ray hits the 619, hits the frogs, the tadpole splash, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's not El Grande Americano. Ankle lock, boop, boop, boop. The finish, perfect for me. Even if you made the guy who gets pinned Chad Gable, and then the guy who wasn't in the match at all is El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
So Chad, he takes the mask off and he's like, oh, it's Chad Gable. But he's like, but who's the guy who won the match? Going to keep that lore going.
Oh, 100%. And this is one of the things I love about pro wrestling. I've talked about this before plenty of times. I love a bit of fun bullshit in my wrestling.
Yeah, and we all know it's fun bullshit. That's the best thing. Is it collectively as a wrestling group? We've said that.
The build to this match is it's very similar to the way the AEW fans or even the indie wrestling fans in the States buy into Danhausen's
career,
right?
Yeah.
And this is the same. It's like, what do you mean it's Chad Gable?
Yeah, no, we all know it's not. It's definitely not Chad Gable. But we've all collectively buy into it, and that to me is special. That's a lot of fun. Sorry, just adjusting that there because I have to sit. But yeah, when it comes to this match, I think it would be a disservice to Ray to win at this point. I think that he should be really building these new guys, and someone like Chad Gable is the future of the company. If he was a foot taller, he'd already be world champion.
Oh, 100% agreed. I also agree that El Grande Americano is going to win this, maybe with the assistance of Chad Gable, like you mentioned.
Maybe.
Now, before we start landing in these predictions, right? As you know, you're heading into the new era of Down Under the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
We are all pretty switched into the wrestles at this point.
Yeah.
So there's not from a prediction standpoint. I think if we should make some fun with it, it's very likely we're all going to pick similar answers.
Yeah, it's hard to pick different answers because we kind of agree.
I have a way. I'm absolutely stealing this.
I'm super
from Going in Raw with Steven Larson. So they have a thing called confidence points.
Okay.
So there are 7 matches on the card each night. So what you do is you pick your winner and you allocate an appropriate number of points. Each match gets points. So if it's something that you are super confident in, gets 7 points.
Okay.
And you move it around.
Do we have an amount of points that we have in total, or can we just assign each match?
Each match can have one number, and it's from numbers of if there's 7 matches, 7 numbers, no repeats.
Oh, that's hard though. Fuck.
That's what makes it fun.
Okay, I'm looking at El Grande Americano for 3 points.
For 3 points. Why only 3, Phid, out of 7?
Because I'm more confident about another couple of matches.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go Rey Mysterio for 2.
Oh, okay. So who was yours, Phid?
El Grande Americano for 3.
El Grande for 3. Shippy, you were Ray for 2.
The reason being is because he's the reason being is because I feel like the feel-good moment of WrestleMania with Rey Mysterio might take precedence over whatever they might be giving El Grande Americano.
I can understand that logic as well.
So, like, for myself, I'm in a similar thought processes to you both. I think there's a feel-good opportunity for Ray here. However, I would feel that opportunity was when he won over Dom.
Yeah.
So
I feel retirement year is going to be
that is next year. This year he is taking the L to El Grande Americano for 4.
Ooh.
And the reason being because this is going to be a set.
That's almost a lock.
And it is going.
This is going to be a set.
This is a set, and it will end in a mask versus mask, which Ray will win. And then
I don't know if Ray and him will vibe after this. It almost feels like this is like because did it start with Ray? Who was the luchador that?
No, it started with like Dragon Lee and the LWO essentially.
Yeah, there's every chance, but then again, they don't really care about Dragon Lee, unfortunately, at this point.
Or the LWO. So hence why I'm like, they want.
Have you seen the new LWO merch? It's dope as hell.
It's so good. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
For that reason alone is why I think there's a little more in this. I think there's a lot of fun with El Grande Americano that they probably could get to, and by stretching this out for maybe 2 more months, maybe even if you want to extend it a little bit longer. Maybe through to like SummerSlam, perhaps.
I think that there's a potential for it to be a schmoz. Like a schmoz finish in favor of El Grande Americano as well. Like, not like a legitimate proper thing, but a schmoz thing for sure, I think is fairly likely. I'm just not confident enough, and I knew that you guys would both probably pick El Grande Americano. So make it a little bit interesting right off the bat.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like it. All right, what's next?
Next is Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
This is the one there where I am. It's an interesting one for me because Jade Cargill, I think, needs to win more because she is the newer talent on the roster. However, and this is probably where our knowledge behind the scenes comes in, I know she's got heat backstage. Mm-hmm. And Naomi, as the newly sort of turned heel, I think could really benefit from winning through some dastardly means. So this is where I'm really genuinely torn on this one, is because I think character-wise they both could benefit from the win.
Yeah.
But I'm more leaning towards Naomi getting the dub on this one.
Hey, and also, just as a quick thing before we move on, that's right, the sexy person listening at home, feel free to play along.
Absolutely. That's the best part about this.
Yeah. So, and let us know in the comments just exactly how much better or worse you did than us.
100%.
I agree with you in every way. Naomi is critical. Critical health. She has been shot so many times that her health bar is blinking and she's got the vision coming out of the screen like this. Like,
this heel turn has possibly
totally revitalized.
But it's possibly going to be her magnum opus in her career. Like,
unless she loses,
revitalized her massively, and this is the most interested I've ever been in Naomi.
But if she loses at WrestleMania, do you care?
I do. I think I think afterwards I'd be like, well, that was for nothing.
That's the problem with it, is that if Jade loses, then Jade looks like a giant, useless piece of shit.
Well, I think the only way you can do this is through shenanigans.
And another schmoz. We're straight back into schmoz territory. But I don't know how to vote this one at all at this point.
I don't think the card is going to run in the order we're reading it out either. Like,
no, of course not.
You can have two schmozzes on the same day.
Yeah.
But put some good matches between those.
I think that a lot of them have potential to be like weird and schmozzy, honestly. But when it comes to this particular match, I Oh, man, Betson, come on. You haven't spoken yet. Speak about it.
All right. I originally had this is a lot higher points in the favor of Jade.
Okay.
Couple of reasons. The main one was it's Jade, right? They love her. They want to do some big shit with her. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even though I feel that the story at large from this Jade getting blasted through a windshield really has felt kind of meh, doesn't mean they could end it here. The things that you've highlighted around Naomi, like, because I didn't ponder on, I was thinking more about Jade, but now that I'm pondering on it, yeah, Naomi obviously had some time away, didn't really do a whole lot, come back, had a good run with the tags. They've been doing things with her, like they've been building her to this point.
Yeah.
Kind of needs it.
I don't think she's gonna lose now. Like, I think it's Naomi's. And Naomi's to win. I think she'll win.
Yeah, the only thing that would have me going in the favor of
because my only other thought
Jade
process is like, okay, well, if Jade wins, then she's gone for Bianca, which tells me Bianca is going to win that title. I don't think she's winning that title. She's not. She's not going to eat a pin, but she's not losing. She's not winning that match.
Yeah. See, the only thing that would have me winning, have Jade winning, is the ego of WWE booking committee going, if we have Jade lose, that's another AEW guy we've squashed.
That's what I was going to say. And you know what? My so here's my logic here is Naomi's gear. It's a small thing. Who knows whose gear that reminds me of?
Go on.
Orlando Jordan's gear.
Okay, so it actually reminded me of Owen.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of Orlando Jordan's gear when Orlando came out with it all over, like everywhere. You know, they had the hazard gear there.
That was in the TNA run, wasn't it?
That was in the TNA run. Yeah, exactly right. Kind of a callback, right, through Naomi's transition from TNA to WWE recently. So as much, and this is me just throwing piss into the wind, but as much as there's that AEW resentment, is there a little bit of TNA resentment? Like, does that,
or is there some TNA
factor?
love as well? You know what I mean? Like, we know there's a working relationship. Maybe it's a little bit of like,
because like, for me, like, obviously Orlando Jordan has been a problematic figure in wrestling in general, but
I was just about to say, now say something nice about Orlando Jordan.
No. But outside of that, there is a lot of discourse there, and it wasn't a clean break as far as I remember either. So I don't think it has anything to do with it. I just wanted to throw a bit of piss in the wind and kind of say, you know, but also this.
But
because Naomi hasn't had a great run.
Or it can be that weird.
We haven't seen Naomi have the run on the return.
Oh, not since the Funkadactyls.
No, and that. Shut up.
I forgot all about that.
But there's been like we haven't really seen the run that Naomi really deserves at this point. Is this time for the run? I hope so. That being said, if Jade loses, Jade is useless for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like purely useless.
Once again, we're assuming the loss here is clean. Could also be a shonky loss.
I don't want any more shonky. We've had too many shonky already. Here's the deal.
There's potential for shonky losses later on in this card.
There really is. And the thing is when it comes to this match, if Jade loses, Bianca loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Jade wins, Bianca wins to set up their feud.
Exactly.
Because this seriously, I don't give a shit. She set it up. It is not Naomi. It was Bianca all along. And that is why I'm going to say 4 in favor of Naomi winning, because I think Bianca's going to end up costing Jade Cargill the match.
Well, you're in the same boat as me. I'm in Naomi 5.
Only because I'm so unsure about this match.
Apparently I wrote 50. That can't be right.
1.
Okay.
Oh, and who would you put there? Sorry, Phid?
Naomi for 1.
No one thinks that Jade's winning.
On this day, that's the one that I'm the most unsure of.
But no one thinks Jade's winning.
No.
Okay.
I initially did, but yeah, the discussion turned it around for me.
All right. Well, now it's time for the New Day versus the War Raiders. New Day wins 7 without conversation. Without conversation. All right. I can't, because I agree with you, but now unless I pitch 7, you're winning, because I think that it is New Day, absolutely. So I'm going to play it smart and say New Day for 1, just because I know in my heart that New Day is winning this match, and I don't want to compete for 7 yet because I'm saving my 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, there's a couple things at play here when it comes to the New Day versus the War Raiders. I really feel the War Raiders have the belts, which it's not out to feel it. It's fact. They fucking do.
They have the belts.
I feel like because I have seen them with the belts,
I have seen them. They may still hold them longer. I feel like they have it on, like they're transitional in a lot of ways, and it will end up with the New Day, especially them as the heel. But the but here that really puts me in an uncertain space, Big E.
Yeah, that is
this where he wanders in and costs them, or does he wander in and join them?
I feel like if you had Big E turn heel, you're going to push the New Day into the stratosphere.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if he comes out and joins them, they're fucking winning.
If he's clear,
they're going to cost them.
If he's clear and he does this, he could be world champion by the end of the year. That's how powerful that would be. If Big E comes out and turns on everybody, because it's not just the War Raiders, it's me, it's you, it's everybody. If Big E comes out and aligns himself,
the publicly known nicest person backstage at WWE goes
absolutely the best thing to happen on WrestleMania weekend if that happens.
In a world where Cena was the most surprising heel turn, I don't see them turning him heel. But to me, that's the decider, right? If he comes out just to fuck with them, they're not gonna win those titles. It stays with the Raiders. So I'm playing it safe and going for a New Day 3.
Here's where I book it, right? I would have matches already started. You've got the crowd hating on New Day. You've got War Raiders probably looking like they're going over. But then you have the Vegas.
Yeah. I like it.
Right? But when he comes out, it looks like he's going to help the Raiders.
Yeah.
I have, what's it that your mate used to say? I think that's good, but I think I could do it better. So,
not my mate.
But wait, there's more.
Here's my thing. The War Raiders are done. They are fucked. Done. Xavier gets the microphone and he says, this is the perfect ending. The only thing that we need right now is to see that certain bitch from out the back come in here as the special guest ring announcer for the end of this match so that you can raise our fucking hands when we win the tag titles. And really dress him down, really treat him like shit. Get the microphone mid-match like The Rock and go really hard in it. And Big E come out all sullen and sad and shit. And in that moment, you have the War Raiders come back, hit their finish, the whole thing. And then Xavier kicks out because he needs that shit. He needs that. He needs to be seen like a threat, But then the War Raiders are in control. It's this big thing, last second. Maybe the Xavier, the New Day are back in charge. They drag Big E in the ring. They slap him in the face. They're like, you pansy bitch. Fuck you. You weren't here for us. All that stuff. Has a real go. And then he gets up and he gets mad. He takes his shirt off. Everyone's like, fuck yeah. He pushes him out of the way. Big ending on one of them. Bam. 1, 2, 3. All of a sudden, New Day are tag team champions. They all embrace. They hug. It's the greatest thing ever. The crowd, so mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I do it, for sure. Like,
I think the only thing missing from that is WWE would want to get the pop of Big E's entrance.
yeah, well, that's
Which
what I'm
is
saying.
why, like, I think it's, at least for me, I love where you're going, Shippy, but I think it's a circumstance of, like, New Day are stomping the living fuck out of Raiders. Everyone's like, boo, boo, as Phid said, and everyone goes, fuck, and they walk out, and they're like, he's going to deck them both, and then he just starts
And
pumping.
he has to come out in gear.
Yeah.
Or
So
like
that's kinda,
suit, and then he just fucking like boosh.
Yeah. Well, that's
just,
the
like,
thing.
rips that bastard open.
That's why I was saying for it too, because like the idea that they're taking that away, it just adds the compassion, you know, because you're sad about it. Big E come out. He's a big sad bitch all the way to the ring, and they're like, "Come on, get your chicken tits out here and get in the fucking ring." Like, it's just this really like full on moment, you know. Like I can see it in my head. I do agree with the but I feel like he could almost say it at the end. You know, like he could almost cut that as the exit promo. You know,
but
like,
then what if
like,
he takes
aggressively?
it? And then if he turns and it's like, you know, Las Vegas.
That's the last time you can do that. You can get that pop for a while.
Don't you dare!
And it turns and he goes, you be sour.
Yeah. What you gonna do about it?
Be
bitch?
sour. Be a miserable little fuck.
Yeah.
Because the New Day.
The New Day rocks.
Your boys.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I'm in for it. But that being said, Phid has pulled the trump card on that with the 7. So I'm sticking with the 1.
Yeah,
because I know that you can't beat it. But that's what was yours, Betson? I forget.
I gave mine a 3 because mine is solely reliant on You're a 1 for the New Day.
The 1 for the New Day, because I know they're going to do it. It's a dummy bet for me, right? Because the only one that really matters is the one who wins, right? It's not cumulative, yeah? I wouldn't assume that
it's cumulative, right? So the idea is, you know, the ones that we get right, they're the points that are added.
But you still get the points. Okay. Well, I've said
in that case, would you like to change your 1? Because the rules were blurry. Yep.
I'll sit on the same level as you.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
so
I'll use the 4.
It'd be a 3.
I will use a 3.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next match. The next match is, again, almost a shoe-in here. It is, hey, Phid, I'm sorry, roll the LA Knight moment of the week.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Because it is the United States Championship with your boy, LA Knight. Yeah, versus Jacob Fatu, who is absolutely going to dog walk LA Knight in this match. Absolutely, I'm throwing a 6 because I think there is no way that LA Knight leaves with the United States Championship.
I 100% agree with you on this. And I think this one has to be a clean, dominant win. No fuckery from the new bloodline. Maybe after the fact.
After I think he fucks Solo up.
Yeah, after the fact, Solo comes out and celebrates with him, and he fucks up Solo or something.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a clean win. You've gone a 6. I was going to go a 6. I'm going Jacob Fatu for 5, just because I want to be fair here.
Yeah, nice. I just don't think there's a fucking way that he doesn't dog walk him. Yeah. I think it needs to be, and no hurt to LA Knight. It needs to be decisive.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be mad if it was a 3-minute match.
Yeah.
Like as much as I love LA Knight, it's Jacob Fatu's time with that belt.
Oh, 100%. And
he needs to Samoa and bulldozer.
Who's been watching this show for the last 2 years knows how much we love LA Knight and how much at times we've been shitty at the way he's been booked or treated or hasn't been going over when we think he should go over. But in this is not his time. In this case, Jacob needs this.
Yeah, LA Knight doesn't need to go over in this match.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat to you. I have put Jacob Fatu for 6 on a similar thought process. You know, the new bloodline is disbanded. Everyone's sort of getting their little moment. Fatu is by far the big standout of the new bloodline.
Hey, you forgot about our mate, the real tribal chief, Tangaloa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're missing half of them right now. They can't do what they should be doing. So therefore Solo and Fatu give the love.
100%. And I think in this situation, at the moment, we've got the new bloodline doesn't really exist anymore.
Who gives a fuck about the new bloodline at this point?
Yeah.
He lost,
for
and when
me,
he lost, he lost. All credibility gone.
Yep. So yeah, Fatu is 6 for me. LA Knight's great. He has been an incredible United States champion for a second time now. Third time. Second time. I think second time.
But what sucks is Shinsuke, right?
Cool little custom belt. That's fun. But it needs to be, like, the reason wasn't Shinsuke. I think it needs to be someone that can take the L, still be over, still have a good response. That is LA Knight. Fatu gets the win for 6 for me.
Yeah. And the only variable in the whole thing is if you get one of the returning guys, that's where it wouldn't be bad to slot them in. You could easily throw post-match, all the lights go out, number 4 or whatever, fucking smoke appears, Aleister Black Mass holds the belt. But I really think we need Jacob Fatu's moment in this. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen unless it's Miro. And the reason I say it's Miro / Rusev, because he has to be Rusev, right? The reason that it'll be Rusev, it is, today is Rusev Day, sorry, I did forget. Who has Jacob Fatu been feuding with this whole time? Braun Strowman. All of these like monstrous characters who can't lose.
Yeah.
Rusev Crush. Like, that's a threat to me. Even if he just stands on the fucking entrance ramp, that's a threat.
Yeah, because if someone goes to you, have you considered Rusev versus Jacob Fatu? I'd be like, no, and that sounds fucking awesome.
So that's what I'm saying right now. That's what we need. And you know what we don't fucking need?
What that?
We don't need Charlotte Flair. We don't need Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I feel like Tiffany Stratton has to win this match.
Yeah. See, for where I'm at, I've gone with Stratton for a 2, mostly because I'm running out of numbers at this point. But I also have a feeling that this could almost end in a Charlotte wins lol. So
yeah, that's a problem.
Hence why it's a low for me.
Yeah.
The feud has been interesting. It's gotten a little real. I do believe that they're wanting to position Stratton as kind of like the next big blonde chick for WWE. But
the
Flair
one who takes over.
Yeah, Flair won't let that happen fucking easy. Hence, the things are getting a bit nasty.
She got a divorce to pay for.
Yeah, that's all shit. She needs that main event money. She needs belt money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's low because I ran out of numbers, and I also think they could turn at any point just because it seems like Triple H loves the chase. And this would be fun. On the presumption with the women's world, a face will still be holding it. Put a heel on this side.
Okay, I was in favour of Charlotte Flair winning this, only because of what I think they're going to do.
Oh, sorry. Quick correction. Stratton is not a heel right now, so she's face. So I have to keep it that way.
Yeah. My bad. I was in favour of Charlotte Flair winning this purely because of what I think they'll do on Raw the next night, and I sort of predict that on Raw, having Charlotte with the title being an absolute cow. And then we get the return of Becky Lynch.
Yes!
I thought she said she was gone. Didn't we see a recent post say she's not wrestling anymore?
Yeah, she was interviewed. She said, I'm not wrestling right now or something. Yeah. But my husband is, yeah.
And that's the only thing that has me leaning towards Charlotte because I think Tiffy could do with the win.
These ones?
Tiffy is over, man. Tiffy is over, and I think Tiffy will be over no matter what. So... At this stage, it's a streak for people losing their titles. I'm going to go with Charlotte on this one for that one and only reason, but I am going low. I'm going 2 points on this one.
Y'all are both doing 2. I have a 2, but I also have a 1 because I changed it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to put the 1, even though it's pretty pointless because either way I'm going to be low. I'm going to put that 1 on Tiffany Stratton only because I don't want to give that fucking terrible person any points. I don't want to give Charlotte Flair points because she comes and takes whatever the fuck she wants every year anyway, so she's got enough points. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm not going to say anything else because I've been drinking. I
I
don't
will-
want to sound
I will say
horrible.
that. I didn't give two shits about this match 3 weeks ago.
I
still
didn't give two shits about this match 3 seconds ago.
Well, no. Well, the thing is, I think the promo that turned very real a couple of weeks ago has me more interested in it than I've ever been. I'm still not. It's still not top of my interest thing, but I'm more interested in it than I was, mainly because I think these two will have to. They know the buzz they've got from that promo, and I think both of them will be like, "Okay, we've got everyone's attention. We need to put on a banger."
Yeah. Look, I agree with that too. I'm
And
not
I think,
invested.
look, for all of Charlotte's faults, Charlotte is a great pro wrestler.
Honestly, I actually have all the time in the world for the wrestling side of things. I don't like the hey, I'm going to show up and just win
Yeah.
whenever I feel like it thing. I don't like that, and it makes me
agree.
upset. So fuck it, and that's the end of that chapter because we're moving on to my number 7, and that is, of course, the main event.
The main event that's going to open the show.
No, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns is going to be the main.
We're not doing Jey Uso versus Gunther.
That's going to open the show. We should have done that first, and I should have done that first. I'm reading the same.
Let's do that now.
report you are.
Let's do
Jey and Gunther, which is not
Yeah.
my 7. Actually, I've got 1 left. It's 5, isn't it?
that is correct.
Okay, 5. 5 in favor of Gunther.
Okay.
4 in favor of Gunther.
So 5 and then
Because-
4.
Because Jey Uso is the thing that I was talking about earlier, but I put it to Rey Mysterio, and that's the feel-good moment. Jey Uso is the feel-good moment, but if he wins against Gunther and he's the champ, what happens? Where does he go from there? I don't see a path from that point onwards.
So
Because
I'm changing my mind. I am
Okay.
changing my mind.
before we get to that point,
Okay.
because I think there's a strong chance he will interfere in the main event of night 1. The Jey Uso.
Okay.
Just because no one's going to predict that whatsoever. But, actually, no, sorry, night 2 in the other match.
Okay.
Because Jey Uso could very easily be the third person. So I think Jey loses against Gunther. And I think that's what gives him that. That's my particular thing. Like, I think that the aggression from that is what will drive him to do the thing that, his cousin said, because you have to remember there's the Travis Scott link, right? Jey Uso came out with Travis Scott earlier in the thing. And if offered, Jey would stand to make way more of an impact. Like right now, everyone he calls him a joke, like there's this whole thing with Gunther. No one expects him to win. So when he doesn't win, that'll solidify it, right? At the end of night 2, Jey Uso is there. That's why I think Gunther.
I'm going to make a ballsy statement right now. Every single men's title is going to change hands this weekend.
Ooh,
Every
okay.
single men's title. I'm going Jey Uso for 4. I think, and I'm purely taking the business point of view here, is I think Jey is over currently only because he has a cool entrance song and says yeet. I think if they really want to solidify him as a main eventer, they need to give him a good title run with a belt that means something. They can't give him the belt that means something, so World Heavyweight Championship is the next best thing.
Is he anything less without the belt, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
think, yeah.
I think he still has the
currently-
catchphrase, and I think he still has the music.
Yeah, he still has the catchphrase and the music, but I think he's currently in a position where that can grow tired pretty easy. I think we can extend his run as a face by putting a belt on him and giving a face run. And saying that, I don't think he holds the title long.
Yeah.
Definitely transitional
reckon-
anything.
I reckon he eventually loses that title to someone like Drew in a couple of weeks' time, a couple of months' time.
I think the only way that I am incorrect with my assumption is if it turns out to be Jimmy on night 2.
Yeah.
So where I'm sitting, I have Jay to win with 7.
Oh, that's confident.
Because this guy's winning. And for a lot of the reasons that you've mentioned, he is looking to be like the dude for an audience that isn't us.
Yeah.
Like looking at my son, and there is a strong interest in Jey Uso from those folk.
Lots of crashing out.
I do certainly. Yeah, he used a bunch of Gen Z terms in his promo last
He sure
week.
did. Yeah.
I was like, "You're crashing, but I'm locked in." I'm like,
Yeah.
I've heard my kids say these
they're
things.
Definitely catering to a market.
Yeah. So
they're almost going after the Gen Alphas, to be honest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And with that thought, they open Raw with him coming through that crowd, holding that title, and like yeeting that title. Like that's huge. That is how you start a Raw after Mania, right? Especially after the down note that'll be the outcome of number 1 of night 2. He is the guy, right? He's the
You
dude.
need
And then
a face.
it will come in time. He will lose it, as you said, in probably a couple of months, not even.
Yep.
And that's fine. He has lived
It's
the
a moment.
idea of main event Uso.
WWE Pro Wrestling is about moments.
Correct. There is still a moment, though, after his huge yeet entrance, final boss music hits. He tries to, like, The Rock walks in, similar to what you're pitching, Shippy, and goes, yo, I've got my other champion. Be my champion. Be my other champion.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, and then he goes, fuck you. And then the other theory that's running around about who's connecting themselves with The Rock, former world heavyweight title holder themselves, comes in, lays some stuff down.
Scottish guy?
No.
Which one's this?
We'll get there.
Huh?
Right. Here is why I think I'm right. Because
Here is why I am right and you're all wrong.
because
I love this, by the way.
you are assuming that we're not going to get Hulk Hogan versus The Rock on night 2. Because the double turn, the Cena turning, the crowd turning Cena face.
Oh no, I've got my
heel.
theories on that, and we're going to talk about that a little later because I got ideas.
In that case, you need a heel. And in that case, Gunther staying champion makes more sense.
I like your booking of that.
I love it as well, and I think it is fantastic. The problem that Gunther is very quickly getting into that like Brock Lesnar position where he just keeps winning and like who the fuck's going to take this prick down? And the same reason I think it was Royal Rumble 2020 where Brock went in number 1, took out 14 dudes. My friend Craig was physically angry, which is the whole point. And then Drew comes in, claymores him out, and then in fact Drew is suddenly the biggest fucking face in the world.
Yeah.
That is what's going to happen with Jay becoming the biggest fucking face in the world with him winning, which would then lead in something. If Gunther goes over again, this would be like the 4th time that Jay has lost to Gunther. And granted, the average person doesn't give a shit, but those that do, that's kind of something. But even then, you can't call yourself main event Jey Uso when you've consecutively lost every main event you've been in.
It seems
unless they're going to rebrand him entirely, and then they're not going to.
I think it's obvious then. Brock Lesnar's going to come back.
It's possible. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. I'd watch the shit out of that.
I don't know if you guys saw it this week, but our friend from Fightful, Sean Rossap,
I did see that.
Publicly talked about how he had a meeting in a car park with somebody who did not want to send him information via email.
About?
Who said no, Brock Lesnar?
No, Brock Lesnar. He is not coming back. He will not be back.
Yeah.
It's over for Brock for the foreseeable future.
I don't need to say that in a car park. I can say that here on this fucking podcast. He's not coming back.
Yeah, no.
But imagine the fucking sound if you heard
And then he
that.
just comes in and just decks fucking Jay. Like, Jay wins. Brock comes out, kicks the piss out of him. Amazing.
Like, honestly,
But I'd be
like, yes,
immediately,
we
I'd
know.
be so mad.
Troubled, problematic, Vince McMahon associating. But if Brock Lesnar's music hits at WrestleMania 41, I'm getting a boner.
Oh, look,
Oh, yeah.
the crowd's going to pop. As much
It's
as
involuntary.
As much as the crowd has been, or at least the internet audience has been hating this guy, there's also a huge audience that is going to pop.
I miss
and
that
the
little
crowd-
skip he does, you know, like the...
Little Skippy, and these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, then everyone's numbers are locked in.
All right, so what was everyone? What were the other numbers for yourself, just to clarify? For
I am
Phid?
4 for Jay.
Yep.
And I was 5 for Gunther.
Beautiful. So that does, look, as I mentioned, that was my 7. The only thing I have left is a 1. So for the main event of night 1, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, I have Punk with 1. But as I'm thinking about it, I might change it. So what I was alluding to, the other rumble that's been going on around the internet wrestling community is what if Seth Rollins is then teaming with Paul Heyman and then in turn, The Rock. So that's my idea. The idea of like Jay comes out Raw after Mania, big eats, out comes The Rock being like, hey, come with us. We're amazing. He goes, fuck you, you know, or whatever some other variant of that would be. Go yeet yourself or something. And then Seth Rollins comes out and stomps Jey Uso in. Like, that part I just kind of made up now. But, you know, a former world heavyweight champion comes in. He's got that new piss and vinegar of, like, the only downside of that is he was left standing tall on Raw, and go home math normally indicates Seth ain't going to win.
But I think go home math has gone out the window.
I was about to say, following on from that, that's go home math has never been more unhelpful. The only other thing, the reason I've gone Punk is because Punk's first WrestleMania main event, huge moment for it to end it on, right? Once again, WWE are moments. And the whole Seth Rollins thing is something I just sort of put on my cheeks. But even then, in every encounter, in every promo, it has been always Punk coming in last. Now, granted, he is the hottest dude. That's why they bring him in.
So
and he's most popular. He's so sexy. That's what. But the uncertainty of how this could go is I had to put it as a 1.
Here's why.
Here's why Shippy's right and I'm wrong.
Brock Lesnar. We get Punk's about to win. Lesnar comes out. Heyman's like, this is my only friend. Fuck you all. And Brock Lesnar
neck things.
does a Skippy, gets a girl to piss next to him. End of the show.
Okay,
Fuck, I like that way better. It doesn't change my 1 because that's as random as any other thing we've said. So this is so Shippy, with that confidence though, like this leaves you at a 7. Who do you think's coming out with your 7?
It's difficult. I don't think. Here's the thing. Triple H came out yesterday and said that Roman Reigns is the number 1 needle mover for the company.
Yeah.
He has main evented and like won
18?
10 now.
Well, yeah, he's been in about 18 or something stupid like that.
But
Not
like
that
he's
many,
main
it's a lot.
evented like 10, right?
11.
So
10 or 11.
it's really hard to go against Roman Reigns. I don't think that it's his time right now. I'm not as invested in the idea of Roman Reigns winning this match. CM Punk, I think, is my 7 because Seth Rollins does not need this.
Correct.
Like he doesn't. He's done everything. He's winding down, I think, and we can really see that in the way that he's been lately. I don't think Rollins winning here does anything. I think that Punk currently is on the most back foot of everyone at the moment. So, because Seth got the dub when it came to curb stomping everyone, hitting his finish on everyone. Roman has since kind of come out with his bit and, kind of really established himself as the big dog again and all of that. That being said, he feels temporary, right? Punk, in order to beat Cody Rhodes, needs to win at night one.
Yep.
And I think that that's the only way the World Heavyweight Championship goes. Well, the WWE Championship. I forget which one it is. The WWE Championship. I think the only way that goes is to an eventual Cena versus Cody match. Sorry, Cena versus Punk match.
I'm gonna say I would say Money in the Bank for that, and then you get Cody Punk at some point.
And then you get Cody Punk at some point, yeah. Unless Randy wins. So there's lots of variables there. I do think that, and this is a spoiler alert for later, I do think that Cena's leaving Mania with the belt. Yeah. So I think in order for you to have a viable contender moving forward, Punk needs to win.
Correct.
Because honestly, I give zero fucks about Seth Rollins versus John Cena.
No. Like, to jump off that, I agree with you, especially when you talk about the frequency, right? With Roman, he is part-time. We know this. Whoever wins this needs to be someone that can be there next week. They can be there the next day. Then, whichever, right? That only leaves Seth or Punk. And as you said, Seth has really no need to win this.
And Punk's surprisingly full-time.
Yeah. And he's super popular right now. This is that time. And once
we were talking about Punk coming back, and we were like, what's he going to do? Because really, his AEW time, sure, he wrestled a bunch of people he didn't even need to wrestle, but it really didn't feel like it was he was there every day. Yeah. This feels like ever since that first kind of that month before he had a match, which was dog shit, but since then, it feels like he's out every single fucking week in one way or another. He's there. So I'm all in for that, despite what we might feel about him as in general, about his commitment to it and all that kind of stuff. I think he's really turned it around. And I'm happy to see Punk.
Oh, I've never felt like the biggest hypocrite when the AEW shit, and I was like, fuck this guy. Yeah, and now in hindsight, I'm like, no, AEW were the problem.
Yeah, please let me fillet you.
So if Jade Cargill's going to eat a whole bunch of shit this week, the other guy who's not originally AEW but was AEW and was very reliant, you were very reliant on him. Guess what? He just main evented WrestleMania and won.
And honestly, that's the last thing and the big reason why I am giving 7 points, because for Paul Levesque to say, hey, Tony, fuck you, go and fuck yourself, the person you gave up, and for Nick Khan to say, fuck you, the person you gave up had just won in WrestleMania.
I also think it goes the other way as well. And this is Triple H going, I'm not Vince.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that main event and you're going to win.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is my way of saying sorry for all that shit. We aren't that company. We don't do it. What about yourself, Phid? What have you got?
I've got the outlier here. I'm the outlier for 6 points. I'm going Seth Rollins.
Oh, all right. Give it. Come on.
Now, here's my logic, and I'm going to be pretty straight up here. My logic isn't 100% sound. My logic being that
is your logic somehow better than Brock Lesnar returning possibly twice in the same show?
Well, I haven't laid it out yet.
Brock Lesnar.
Okay, this match, for all intents and purposes, could have been just CM Punk versus
Roman. It should have been.
It did not need Seth Rollins to be in the mix.
Yeah.
I think we could have had a main event between Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
Yes.
And in this build, it has been very strange where the entire time Seth has sort of felt like the third wheel in this entire build.
Yeah.
There's been promos where it's been Roman and Punk in the ring together, and Seth has literally been laughing and leaning back and just sort of there.
He's got that low-key chaos energy going on. Yeah,
100%. I am leaning towards the fan theory here, and normally I don't put a lot of stock into fan theories, but I am with this one. I think there is a lot of evidence that they'll be able to go back and show that Seth and Paul Heyman are in on this together.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that The Rock is involved.
Ah, okay, all right.
I think it might just be a Seth and Paul thing.
Interesting.
That's where I am at the moment.
But your logic's not sound.
I am going Seth Rollins. I don't think Roman Reigns is hurt by losing this. I think the eternal rivalry between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins just builds even more that I took everything from you, including your wise man. And CM Punk's always going to be over.
Like that, with that thought, it kind of solidifies like why I think it's Punk, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's very similar to what Roman lost the title at WrestleMania last year due to the involvement of Seth. So here, those same rules apply. He will try to focus on Punk, and then for bit by bit throughout this match, that focus will just start shifting like a lazy eye to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
All right. So, but also,
Here's why I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah, have we considered Brock Lesnar?
yeah, here's my thing. Is right
versus
now
Miro versus Aleister Black at the end of all of this.
What about if Roman hits Seth with a chair?
Oh, I'll fucking pop so hard.
That's the end of that story. That's all it
we all know
needs
members
is
of
for
the
Seth
Shield,
to be
that's
crawling like this up on the thing, and for Roman to be like, fuck it, and butts him, you know?
No, he's ready. Like he's seconds, and then Punk stops him. Not in a protective way, as in he fucking takes out Roman. Done. There's your pin.
Yeah. All right, look, we're all on here. What about you, Betson? Did you make a decision?
Oh yeah, no, mine's Punk with one. Yeah,
Punk with one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we're all on that.
So
Let's move on.
recapping night one. These are the score. These are the points as allocated for Phid. For CM Punk versus Roman versus Seth, you've put 6 confidence points on Seth. Jay Uso. So Shippy, you put Punk for 7. I put Punk for 1. Jay Uso versus Gunther. Phid, 4 points for Jay. Shippy, 5 points for Gunther. Me, 7 points for Jay. Stratton versus Flair. Flair with 2 from Phid. Stratton with 1 from Shippy. Stratton with 2 from me.
But no one really cares.
So just looking at those points on that match, you can tell how much we all give a shit about that match.
What's the outcome? Don't care.
Okay.
LA Knight versus Fatu. Fatu for 5 from Phid. Fatu for 6 from me. And Fatu for 6 from Shippy.
Yeah.
Cargill versus Naomi. A big old one from Phid. For Naomi. Shippy, Naomi for 4. Myself, Naomi for 5. New Day versus War Raiders. New Day 7 from Phid. New Day 3 from Shippy. And New Day 3 from
big,
me.
Meaty man slapping meat.
Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. El Grande for 3. Rey Mysterio for 2. And El Grande for 4 from me. Now, before we jump in,
that's a bunch of numbers.
That's a bunch of numbers. They are numbers and they are a thing. So having a look at this, I don't even know how this is going to go. Like I come like, I think this person's probably on the money. I think we're all kind of fucked. So that's
I think we're all fucked, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't you guys want to do like an ad break or something?
Well, that's what I was literally just about to say. Have you seen all the new merchandise that's been coming out for WrestleMania this week?
That's a fucking horrible fucking lead-in.
I've seen those. Have you? Like, I know we're supposed to be selling the WWE shop right now, but if you would like some possibly, but also really gaudy ass belts, Triple H has released 4 belts. One's made of denim.
The Triple H is exclusively Triple H. No one else has.
And I think last checked, they were not sold out for probably good reason.
Hey, denim alone.
Use the link in the description below and you secure yourself this belt that you'll no doubt regret buying quickly after.
Hey, it's lovely. What about if you want to wear a denim shirt?
Yeah, that's arse.
That is a triple denim outfit. If you wear a denim shirt, denim pants, and the WWE Championship in denim,
That's the worst part. Is Orange Cassidy's going to see this now and be like, "Hang on,
Hang on a second. I'm going to win a belt again." But yes, you can get yourself some WWE merchandise, some WrestleMania merchandise.
You too can remember your first WrestleMania. Look at that.
Well, fuck off. You can remember your first WrestleMania 2 weeks ago. But go to www.shop.com. Use the link in the description there. I'm sure it'll be there. And hey, get yourself some merch. It supports your boys. All of us now. We've got an extra mouth to feed now. So, you gotta get in on that.
So I just checked the comments. Good friend Craig being like, "I love the lazy eye theory."
A lazy eye theory. Next on the list is night 2 of WrestleMania. Now, this one for me is super duper interesting because I spoke about it earlier today. We've got these ones here. Oh, my shoulder's so fucked. The phenomenal AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Now, what do we think about this one?
I think I said this last year, and I'm going to continue it on for this year. I think Logan Paul needs the dub on this one.
I agree.
That pulverizer is dope.
It's amazing.
It's a DDT with extra bullshit. It's like my favorite shit, my favorite stuff in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You said shit. You can say shit. It's okay.
We've been talking about how amazing Logan Paul is as a pro wrestler and as a character. Do I like him as a human? Absolutely not. But I think he deserves the dub.
Yeah.
And I'm going for that purely for that, is that he's put in a solid 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got an equalizer in that, though, and that is Old Mate.
Big question, though, Phid. What number are you going to put on that bad boy? If you're like, Logan Paul's got to win it, how confident are you, though?
All right, but before we begin, what about the Brock Lesnar shows up?
I'm going for a 4. I'm going for a 4.
Going for a 4. But what about the architect of this whole thing? See, that's the issue as well. Yes, he's not part of WrestleMania weekend.
True.
But Scarlett's got to show up, right? And where Scarlett shows up, the old mate, Mr. I crack baseball bats with my bare fucking legs by myself, is also going to show up, right? So the issue for me is we've had a lot of discourse.
Solution?
Shut up, fuck you. But that's the thing, is that the issue that I have right now is we've got this whole. How good did you see the thing on was it Raw, where at the end of the match against AJ, he put his hands behind his back so he could take the phenomenal forearm with his hands behind his back, because he needed AJ to be strong enough to be able to get the dog in him to hit the phenomenal forearm, because he needs him to beat Logan Paul, because it represents wrestling. It doesn't represent a victory for AJ Styles. It represents wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the thing to me.
I think Karrion Kross is a factor in this, and I think Karrion Kross currently is more interesting than he's been in a long time since he's been on the main roster. But the thing is, I want that Karrion Kross that is on Instagram and Twitter. I want that Karrion Kross on the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah. He's my X factor in this. You're dealing with the X factor. Like, he's my X factor in all of this, because I would say Logan Paul in a heartbeat. But am I confident that Karrion Kross won't hit the guardrail and cost Logan Paul the match? No. But am I also confident that AJ Styles won't get cost the match because Karrion Kross has decided that he was too weak to win the match?
We never know.
And that's the problem. This is too hard for me to call.
Are we going for a low number on this one, Shippy?
It's the job. What did you put yours at?
4.
Fuck. 4 for Logan. All right. What about you, Betson?
Well, a lot of my theories align with you all.
Okay.
Logan Paul has had a bunch of really good matches, and they were really fun. He had a US title run that was a title run. But AJ Styles, was off with injury for a little while. He's back now. That's cool. But him getting the win here, I don't know how it would aid the carrying cross shit. But also Logan, him winning doesn't really help anything other than him.
I have another thought that I want to get to as well on this match.
Yeah, jump in.
No. You finish your thought.
Because the answer right now is like whatever I put on it, the answer is low because I don't really know because I'm not really sure what's the next step after this. And that's my only catch. So I'm still pondering. So Shippy, did you have a points for it yet? I'm still pondering over yourself.
Pondering. I'm going to say,
Fid, what's your addition, Fid, and then we'll lock ours
Here's
in.
my initial thoughts, and it might change your opinion. Is AJ is not hurt by losing this.
Correct.
However, if because AJ is healthy again, AJ loses this and goes off on assault and turns up on TNA. He gets a final run there because he is started talking about how he knows it's just about time to call it a career. I think he would love to have a final run in TNA before he has his final run in WWE. And I think this is an opportunity to have him go off, have a quick run in
reconnect
TNA.
with the older version of himself.
Yeah.
And then he comes back renewed as a face, has a final run.
Okay. All right.
Logan 3. Right down the middle. There's only 6 matches on the card. Night 2 instead of 7. Down the middle.
And saying that, there's only 6 matches on the card, but we know that there's going to be a 7th. I say, instead of voting on the winner, we vote on. We
AJ
vote
4.
on. Huh?
AJ
4. Yeah, so then there's the Randy, but we have to guess the...
Let's do that now. Randy Orton versus who's it going to be?
I've got Randy Orton, Rusev for 2 points.
All right.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but night 2 of WrestleMania is actually on Rusev Day.
It is on Rusev Day.
It does change everything.
Randy Orton, Rusev for 5.
Ooh, Rusev for 5. All right. Why the such high confidence, Shippy?
Because it makes way more sense than Aleister Black.
It does.
And honestly, if I was Miro, Rusev, and I was signing a contract, this time I would be making sure that it was a good one.
Yeah. And here's what I would also add to that is I'm not convinced that Aleister Black gets a pop at Mania like Rusev does.
Also, it's Rusev Day.
I love Black.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure he has the mainstream appeal as Rusev.
Yeah. What about you there, Betson?
I'm going Rusev for 4.
Also, no one thinks Black is coming back. Like that.
But it would be cool, but I don't see... I would like to see Randy versus Aleister Black.
Yeah.
However, outside of it just being a cool, ooh.
Yeah,
I do believe this, because because then on top of that, right, who's going to win?
Well, you guys are forgetting the giant Omos as well.
So for me, I was guessing on the confidence of it being Rusev, not the confidence that he would win.
Yeah, no, it's not about winning. It's just about who's going to be there.
All right, cool. Because that's the thing I can't predict. I can't predict who's going to go over.
I don't know who wins this match either way.
Because if it was Black, the answer's Randy, and then why have him out? Why have him come out? My belief is Black will be involved in the Judgment Day, or they'll attempt to get him into the Judgment Day. Hey, you've done the House of Black. You know what's going on. Bring it over here. They won't say that directly.
Reference to the House of Black here.
No, they wouldn't. But I think that's kind of the thought process, is because of what I think will happen in that Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of that Fatal 4-Way, because that's the next thing, and to me, it is the most difficult to call one. The most difficult to call one. And that is the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship between Bron Breakker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio.
Sorry, Shippy, what was your AJ for how many, sorry?
5.
Thank you.
I'm going to go. I've skipped one. I'm going to go that one next because we were
What did I
talking
go?
about it anyway.
I went 2 points, eh?
You went 3.
Sorry, okay.
Right to the middle.
What was for 3? Sorry.
AJ. Right. So we've got the Randy thing down. Bron Breakker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dom.
Okay, so from where I'm sitting, all right. Well, I'll let you ponder, Shippy, and I'll just.
I think there's only one answer, personally.
1 sec. Sorry, I got to clear my throat.
Same.
I think there's
All
only
right.
one answer.
Looking at the 4 people that are here, I believe that they're establishing 2 separate feuds. Why else? Why else do a fatal 4-way? Right. The feud is Bron versus Penta and Finn versus Dom.
Agreed.
Right. Like that. They're the 2. Therefore, what do I think would be more fun? I think Finn and Bron Breakker could continue without the belt and just be fun. However, Finn versus Dom with an Intercontinental Championship between them, this solidifies the breakdown of the Judgment Day. But the question is...
Brock Lesnar.
How quickly can Brock Lesnar reform the Judgment Day? Does he replace Liv Morgan? It's just Dominic Mysterio and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar comes in, takes the Judgment Day, takes Dom Mysterio. He's the new girlfriend of
He's
Brock Lesnar.
He's daddy. He's daddy.
And Dom sends him messages of him pissing into a cup.
Hey, that's how we got the helpful hand. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's between Dom and Finn.
Dom for 6.
Dom for 6. Thank you.
Ooh.
All right. So I put Dom as well, but I went with 2.
Okay.
Now the main reason being is because I think it's very difficult to determine between Finn and Dom, because if whatever this feud heads into, we need a face versus a heel. It's a much easier opportunity to turn Dom face than Finn to go face. Because if Finn goes face, Judgment Day is fucking kaput.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of other bodies that will be impacted by that process. Dom winning it can allow him to sort of still hang around with Liv, but possibly create some tension between the 2 of them. Especially, they've got a tag match tonight as well on the show as well. Finn versus Dom will be fucking fun.
Yeah.
And Dom was a great North American champion.
Yep.
That was really
He
fun.
wasn't surprisingly good NA champion.
That's my thought process for why I would do
Yeah.
it. The only reason it's low, I'm more confident in others, but it seems like a good space.
Yep. Finn?
Okay. I've got a slightly different booking of the match than you guys. I think we need to end up with Finn and Dom in the same situation. I don't think we need a title between the 2 of them to go there, though. I think the person that benefits the most out of winning this is going to be Penta. I think Bron goes on afterwards to probably challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
What if he's the one that murders Jay?
Yeah, he could be absolutely legitimately involved in that, right? We've already started to see those seeds in that situation. I think Penta wins this.
Wow.
And I think the rivalry is going to be Finn stops Dom from winning. Dom almost has it. And I think this is the first. I think Dom is going to have a really good showing in this match.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time we're going to see Dominic Mysterio as a legitimate threat in the WWE. And I'm not saying a threat like the person who's probably going to come out at the end of this match, being Brock Lesnar. But
Of course.
I think he's going to be an absolute threat.
And the only intercontinental individual within the match?
Yeah.
So I think Penta actually wins it, but I think Penta wins it almost by default, but I think he can go on and have a pretty good run with the title.
What's your points?
But, okay, here's the thing. How many points have I given out so far?
I've got you as a 4 for Logan and a 2 for Rusev.
Okay, I am giving a 1 to this match because I'm
Okay.
not super confident.
Okay. So that's everyone. Speaking of matches no one's confident in, Sin City Street Fight. I don't care. I don't. I wish I cared. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre for 1.
See, I'm a lot more confident in this. I went Drew for 5. Now, the reason being is last year, Priest cost Drew that title reign. This is that moment where Drew wins and continues to win until he hits World Championship again.
All he does is win, 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 no matter what.
Yeah, and Priest is fine, but Priest's interest, his intrigue has rapidly declined. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Where Drew fucking rules. So
this
this Street
Undertaker
fight
is not as powerful as Drew McIntyre.
Not at all. When you've got a Scottish dude who's that hot, I'm sorry, gay, straight, bi, pan, whatever Undertaker you want to bring out. Nah.
No.
So yeah, Drew's got that in the win because the Street fight he can be a little bit sneaky, a little bit shifty, and come out with the win. Phid.
I'm going. Now, remind me, I've still got a 5, 6, 7, and 3, right?
Yeah, so currently you've done 1, 4, and 2.
Okay, 1, 4, and 2. Okay. I'm going to go 5 for Drew.
Yep.
The same reasons you guys have.
All right. Now, we've got one match here that no one cares about even less.
I'm gonna jump in. Right, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bailey, and Lyra Vicaria. 7 fucking points on Liv and Raquel to retain. I am so confident that they're going to retain. I'm putting all my fucking points on them because there is no reason. There is no fucking reason that they to lose. It's clear they give so minimal shits about the women's mid-card titles that they throw it in a fucking tag match.
Yeah.
They don't put Lyra in enough matches to defend one fucking belt.
Yeah,
Why give her a second one?
Yeah,
the
I
answer
agree
is Liv and Raquel for fucking 7.
Okay, I'm going to go 6 for the same match. Exactly the same call for exactly the same reasons. I feel like this match was put in because Triple H also realized that he didn't have enough women on the card.
He didn't have fucking any women on the card.
I can get 4 women in one match. That brings the numbers up. And the fact that we do not have the US Women's Championship on this match when Chelsea Green has been doing some of the best work in the women's division for the last year and a bit.
Rubbish.
Criminal.
Yeah.
But Liv Morgan and Raquel.
Yeah. What was yours, sorry, Shippy?
6.
I don't have the points for it, so I'm going to go what do I have left?
You've done 6, 1, 5. Oh, I've got 2 5s somehow.
So we'll change one of them to 4.
Would you prefer AJ for 5 or Rusev for 5?
Rusev for 4.
Thank you. Beautiful. So 1, 4, 5, 6.
I would say 2 for this match for Liv.
You have 7 and 3.
Yeah.
2 for Liv in this match because I agree with you. I just don't have the points for it.
Yeah. So I said I was smart on this, and I'm just gonna win on a technicality.
Next one.
Which one?
The next one is the Women's Championship match.
Oh, I have the least confidence in this match entirely. The only thing I'm confident on is that Rhea Ripley's not winning.
Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I think that the only person who can win this match is Io Sky.
Yeah.
I think this is a super interesting match storyline-wise.
Yeah, I do too.
Because Io Sky is Rhea Ripley's kryptonite. Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io Sky. Bianca Belair has never lost via pinfall at WrestleMania.
But this is the thing I didn't notice until this last week with a couple podcasts I listened to. They've always talked about the Bianca streak, never losing at WrestleMania. But this week, it suddenly became she's never been pinned. So they are very consciously changing their narrative on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, I sort of agree. I think Io Sky wins this by pinning Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
And it continues those two sort of threads. I think it sucks, this match, for that reason, though. I think the storylines are super interesting. But I feel like Rhea deserves more. I feel like Bianca deserves more, and I feel like Io deserves more because all three of these women are great wrestlers, great professional wrestlers. But this match just doesn't feel like it.
There's only one caveat to the whole thing, and that is if in night one Bianca Belair costs Jade Cargill the match, then Bianca Belair is winning this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only caveat in the whole thing. I think Io Sky is winning, though, but I am now less confident than I was at the beginning of the conversation. Plus, I'm going to use my 7 on Cena. So I'm going to say 3 for Io Sky.
Yeah, I went with 1 just because I was also running out of numbers.
Yeah, I've got 3 for Io Sky.
So 3. I was at 3 for yourself and 3 for Phid.
And me and Shippy have both made the exact same decision on our points for the final match.
Yeah.
So for me, I went Cena 6 because I have used my 7.
Nobody thinks that Cody Rhodes is winning this match.
No fucking chance.
Oh, no. I've got 7 points for Brock Lesnar.
Yes, Brock Lesnar returning. That is the only option. But no, undisputed WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. It is John Cena who will win the championship. It is the only thing that makes sense.
Like I said when we were talking about the night one, every single men's title changes hands at this PLE, and I've got 7 points on John Cena. I think it's Cody is better in the chase. I feel like Cody's championship run has been meh at best. Yeah,
shithouse, honestly, not great.
So
it's time to change.
Exactly. So the way I look at it is that reason alone, right? He's had it, been pretty consecutively uncontested, right? Like anyone that's come up to him, easy smoosh. Like no one. Too. The only one that really had potential was Kevin Owens.
I would say AJ early on too.
Yeah.
But
so for me, the outcome of this match, in terms of this, to me, is a battle of the face for the face of WWE. Right?
Yeah, and he's not ready.
So Cody takes the L here and then when he comes back, because he deserves some time off as well. He's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
So a little bit later, he'll go away. He'll come back, but I don't think he'll be taking on Cena.
No,
when he comes back,
I think he'll be taking on Randy Orton.
I think he'll be taking on CM Punk.
Yeah, interesting.
So my prediction is that John Cena wins. He kind of just goes on a reign of terror until, say, Money in the Bank, because I know there's that history between CM Punk and Cena and Money in the Bank. CM Punk wins, comes out champion. Cena spends the rest of his time essentially being like, holy shit, I went against everything I stand for. Everything. And what did it do? I got the world record, but at what fucking cost?
Yeah. No, it books itself.
And then he spends the rest of the year recovering, and then we get Cody come back at, say, SummerSlam, takes on Punk, or even we make that a triple threat for funsies.
Yeah.
You know, like Cena's like, I fucked up, but I still want to be the face of this company. Cody, I am the fucking face of this company. CM Punk, I should have been the face of this company.
Yeah, it all makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm in for all of it.
I agree with your booking. The only extra layer that I add to that is, John Cena wins. Lol.
Lol.
Monday on Raw, he comes out. He drops the undisputed title into the rubbish bin. He pulls out the new WWE Network logo spinner.
Yeah.
Oh, that real shiny one that we saw last week.
No, but it's got the network logo.
Yep.
Right. Maybe if you remix it a bit, but whatever. He brings out the spinner, just add an extra heel level to it, but with Punk winning it later on, Punk can then go, God, I wanted to do this when I won this belt the first time around, and he throws that out.
Yep.
Can he bring a red bag?
Yeah. Oh, you absolutely have to bring the red bag out.
Yeah, super keen for that.
Just for the
wink, nudge, nudge.
That seems like fun. Yeah,
absolutely. No, I think we're all in agreement here. That's it. I'm all in for that. That's it. We did it. Hey, there's a bunch of points. They've all been assigned. How'd you go at home? Did you agree? Do you disagree? Are we stupid? Have I drunk too much? That's the question, and we don't know the answer for any of that. But I think it's going to be really interesting.
Let's quickly recap the scores though for the second half. We did it with the first. So,
yep.
Cody versus Cena, Phid and Shippy, you both selected 7. I put 6.
7.
EO versus Rhea versus Belair versus Ripley. EO, all of us, 3 and 3 for Phid and Shippy, 1 for myself. Women's tag, Liv and Raquel versus Bailey and Lyra. Liv and Rack for 6 from Phid. Liv and Rack for 2 from Shippy. Probably shouldn't say that. Seems really inappropriate. Liv and Raquel for 7 on myself. Braun
on
versus
yourself,
Penta
no.
versus Finn. But no, yeah, on myself. Braun versus Penta versus Finn versus Dom. 4-way Intercontinental. Brock Lesnar for 11 points somehow. Penta for 1 from Phid. Dom with 6 from Shippy. Dom with 2 from myself. Drew versus Priest. 5 for Phid from Drew. Shippy with Brock Lesnar for 17. Also Drew for 1. Myself, Drew for 5. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Phid, Logan with 4. AJ with 5 for Shippy. Logan with 3 from me. Randy versus Unknown. We have picked the confidence points based on who we think will be the one taking him on. Rusev for 2 from Phid. Rusev with 4 from myself and Shippy.
And Brock Lesnar.
What if it's just like Nick Aldis the entire time?
Well, that'd be awesome. I'd be all in for that too.
I'd
Because,
be happy with that.
I'm happy with that.
Like,
as well.
I'd eat the points on that. Like, no issue at all.
Look, I think that we're all going to do shithouse at this, and that's fine. Because that's the beauty of wrestling at the moment in the current landscape is that it's all shithouse. We don't know what we're going to do. It's unpredictable. It's awesome, and that's kind of why we're doing this. So I think that's excellent.
Well, as you were alluding to before, Shippy, those beautiful people at home that are watching, listening to this, jump in, join the competition. Let us know what you think. And also, because we did straight up steal this idea from another podcast, we can't use the term confidence points.
No, we
should
points.
switch it to somebody else. What's something that links with down under the ring? You know,
give us a better one in the chat, huh? Or in the comments or something like that.
Hit us up on our socials. Let us know what's a better name than confidence points, like something super iconically Australian or New Zealand. You know,
we can't use Vegemite sandwiches. We tried that; it just didn't work.
Yeah, we don't want to use Anzac points. That feels inappropriate for next week.
Chirp points.
What's that?
Chirp points.
Chirp points. Yeah, I like chirp points.
Steel chirp.
Yeah, go 3 chirp.
It's a steel chirp. You leave it
What
be.
if we give them big booms? I give that one 2 big booms.
Oh, if you want to make it Australian, give it like, that match between Cody and Cena, I think Cena's got it. I'm going to give him 7 how you going, you know, like 7 fuck years, you know.
With that, we will leave that to you guys. That is going to be for you, not for us. But before this gets crazy, because, you know, you guys have been a little bit fucking, you know, how you going? So I'm going to call that here and tell you both to settle down a little bit. You know, this is only the first time I've done this. Maybe you could stop mentioning Brock Lesnar every 5 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to say thank you very much. It was really good to have you here, Betson. Thank you for coming through. And thank you for being the new third person here all the time.
Yeah, man. We gave you guys the beauty of the surprise announcement for normally, like, you know, the pod after WrestleMania. You get it before.
Yeah, we got it beforehand. And that's what we're doing. Phid, do you have anything to add as we wrap this bitch up?
No, looking forward to an amazing weekend of pro wrestling.
Yes.
And Easter,
Nia
I
Jax.
suppose.
We've got like
0 Nia Jax on the card.
Big win.
Big win.
4 straight days of pro wrestling, essentially. Plus, we've got the Hall of Fame ceremony.
And stand and deliver on Tuesday.
How long that's going to go?
Yeah. Well, Triple H is going to talk, so it's going to go for a bit.
But look, I hope everybody out there has an amazing wrestling Christmas.
Happy Wrestle Christmas.
Yeah, this is the greatest time of the year for us as wrestling fans. So have fun, and we'll be back next week and with how do we do in our points.
That's it. We will see how we go. And yes, just before we leave, Mullet Show, thank you very much. Rip Nia's hole. We shall rebuild. I don't want to. I think that's fine if we don't. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember, if you are on TikTok, we'll be hanging about for a little bit longer. And hey, we'll see you at WrestleMania. We'll see you after WrestleMania. But more importantly, we'll see you down under the ring.